It's now been more than a month since 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson didn't make it home to Charlotte alive after a trip with friends to Mexico. Social media has fueled unending calls for justice as much as it has suspicion.
People need to understand that this is not going to be a quick process. The extradition process takes some time. There's going to have to be a level of patience, I think, with people who want justice quickly. And justice may not look like what we're used to.
Former Mecklenburg County judge and current criminal defense attorney Yolanda Trotman has been examining Shanquella's case on her own social media.
I really wanted to see what the Mexican government was going to do in terms of their investigation.
Mexican authorities issuing an arrest warrant for an American presumably on U.S. soil will be mandated by the U.S.-Mexico extradition treaty of 1861.
It goes Department of State, goes through that process, let's say it gets certified. Then it has to be transmitted to the U.S. attorney in the district where that person, that fugitive, that alleged fugitive may be.
Those hurdles, a small example of the overall jurisdictional and investigative issues Trotman sees by having an American victim, a killing in Mexico, and potential witnesses and or suspects in the wind.
People have to understand, like, we have a common law system. Theirs is based on the Napoleonic Code system, which is very different. There's a presumption ultimately of guilt versus that of innocence that we're accustomed to here in the U.S.
What may move faster, she says, is the fact that the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Charlotte branch, is looking into Shanquella's death. What can the FBI do?
Very good question, because that's probably the primary question that I get most often.
When it comes to the people that went on the trip with Shanquella, Trotman says the FBI can investigate what they did before they left the U.S. and when they returned.
That's where you have possible accessory after the fact charges, if there were things done to conceal the crime, hide a person, lying to the police, obstruction. Text messages were exchanged clearly, that there's Google searches out there.
Now, another question that I asked her, what's next for the subject of that arrest warrant if they are in fact extradited back to Mexico? Well, Trotman says that that state does, or that country does not have pretrial release or any bonding out like we do here in the States. Mexico, she says, only has what's called mandatory pretrial detention, and it's written into their constitution. By the way, Mexican prisons have long been criticized for horrific human rights violations and being grossly overcrowded. Live outside of the Charlotte branch of the FBI, I'm Jonathan Lowe, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
And Jonathan, this case has gripped the attention of people across the country. Thank you for digging into that. This is a developing story we've continuously followed here at Channel 9. You can find this story and our previous reporting right now on our free WSOC TV app or on our website, WSOCTV.com.